There's something you begin to realize when you look deeper into these stories, something that flips the entire concept of being chosen on its head. We assume that to be chosen is to be elevated, exalted, celebrated. But the truth is far more disturbing and far more divine. To be chosen by God often means to be cut away from the crowd, to be exiled, to be misunderstood, resisted, even hated. The chosen ones in the Bible were rarely the ones who fit in. They were often the ones who didn't. They were the misfits, the flawed, the cursed, the problematic. But here's the secret. Rejection is not the opposite of favor, it is often the proof of it. The world cannot digest the frequency of a soul that has been marked by God, especially when that mark carries the weight of a disruptive assignment. And this is where it gets real for us. Because many of us watching, listening, remembering have been asking, why don't I belong anywhere? But the better question is, were you ever meant to? Look at how the system treats those who carry strange fire. The moment your vision doesn't conform, you become a threat. The moment your voice pierces the veil, you're labeled dangerous. But every dark chosen one in the Bible had to walk through that exact fire. Saul, before he became king, was hiding among the baggage. The witch of Endor was hiding in the shadows of a kingdom that outlawed her gift. Jephthah was hiding outside the city walls, and yet every one of them was called out, not because they were clean, but because they were ready. Not ready in the way religion defines it, but ready in the way heaven defines it. Broken enough to be emptied, wild enough to carry power without needing applause, and desperate enough to obey a voice no one else can hear. So I ask you, have you confused your exile with failure? Or have you begun to realize that your exile was training for your emergence? There's a cosmic function to this kind of suffering. Let's not sugarcoat it. It hurts, it burns, it breaks us. But that's the very thing that opens us. The dark chosen ones are not just characters in an old book. They are archetypes, mirrors of you and me. They show us that spiritual power often comes through wounds. They show us that the shadow self, the rejected self, is not something to be cast out, but something to be integrated. And when it is, it becomes unstoppable. The fire that once threatened to consume you becomes the very power that fuels you. That's why Samson's greatest act came in death. That's why Judas's betrayal triggered resurrection. That's why Nebuchadnezzar's madness led to his spiritual awakening. The arc of the dark chosen one is not about destruction. It's about transformation. From chaos to clarity, from fury to fire, from exile to elevation. But here's the practical truth most of us avoid. Stepping into this kind of calling will cost you everything that isn't real. Your illusions will die. Your relationships will shift. Your ego will scream. Because the calling on your life doesn't fit inside the life you built before you knew who you were. This is the part no one tells you. The awakening isn't pretty. It's not a gentle glow. It's a violent unraveling. The dark chosen ones are not initiated through praise. They are initiated through pressure. So if you've been feeling the squeeze, the isolation, the breakdown, don't run from it. Stay with it. It's not punishment. It's preparation. You are being hollowed out so that your vessel can hold the truth your soul agreed to carry. And that truth, it's not just for you. It's for the world. It's for the ones who are still asleep. It's for the ones who need to see what it looks like to survive the fire and still choose faith. So now the question becomes, what are you willing to become? Not what are you willing to believe? Not what are you willing to say, but what are you willing to embody? Because once you activate the dark anointing, the sacred chaos, you don't get to hide anymore. You don't get to pretend you're normal. You don't get to play small. You become a mirror. A mirror that reflects people's illusions back to them. A disruptor of comfort. A carrier of inconvenient truth. And that means you're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be judged. But the ones who see you, the ones who feel your frequency, they'll remember, they'll awaken. And that's why you're here. Not to be perfect, not to be praised, but to pierce the veil and remind the world that God does not only speak through saints in temples, but also through wanderers in deserts, warriors in chains, and prophets in caves. The ones who walk between heaven and hell, why you were born to hold the middle fire. There exists a rare kind of soul who is not fully at home in the light, nor fully swallowed by the dark. These are the ones who walk the middle fire, the sacred tension between heaven and hell, love and wrath, mercy and judgment. They are not here to preach easy answers or build temples of comfort. They are here to disrupt, to stir the waters, to bring forth a truth so ancient that it burns through every shallow doctrine. These are the dark chosen ones. And perhaps, without even knowing it, that's who you are. You were born with a deep knowing that the world is not what it seems. You were born with a fire in your chest that couldn't be extinguished by conformity. You were not made to fit in a box. You were not made to be gentle. You were made to be true. And with that truth comes a cost. You walk alone, but you walk with God. There is a reason your life has been filled with tests others never had to face. A reason why your suffering cuts deeper, why your nights feel longer, why your spiritual hunger never seems to be satisfied by surface-level teachings. It's because you're not here just to learn, you're here to remember. And remembering is violent. It shatters the illusions you were raised in. It tears the masks off of polite spirituality. It forces you to look at your own shadow and see God looking back. That's the paradox of the dark chosen ones. We are not here to escape the dark. We are here to redeem it. That means we have to enter it, feel it, carry it, and then transmute it. That's why your life feels like a battleground between worlds. Because it is. You're not just healing your wounds. You're healing generations of silence and shame. Let's get practical. If you're one of them, if you feel this truth exploding in your bones, then you must begin to live in alignment with your assignment. That means stop trying to be palatable. Stop trying to water down your frequency to make others comfortable. Stop apologizing for your intensity, your vision, your depth. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be prophetic. Begin by honoring what others fear in you. The rage you feel at injustice. That's holy. The sadness you carry for a world asleep. That's divine empathy. The visions you get in dreams, the sensations in your body, the knowing that comes without logic, that's Source speaking through you. You are a vessel, but not for the sanitized spirit of religion. You are a vessel for the wild spirit of God, the one who overturned tables, who walked into tombs, who touched lepers, who stood alone in the wilderness with fire in his eyes. You have to train for this, not like a soldier trains for war, but like a priest trains to walk into the Holy of Holies. That means solitude, silence, discipline, and sacred rebellion. You need to unlearn everything that taught you power was outside of you. You need to reclaim the parts of yourself that were crucified by dogma, by culture, by guilt. You need to learn how to hold paradox, to be both tender and terrifying, both humble and unmovable, both fierce and full of grace. That's the mark of the dark chosen. We carry both swords and incense. We speak in riddles and revelations. We stand at the threshold where angels and demons both kneel, and we do not flinch because we've seen too much. And once you've seen, truly seen, you can't go back. You can only go deeper. So here is your charge. Do not run from your calling anymore. Do not water down your fire. Do not dim your knowing. You were born for this moment. You were born to speak what others fear, to stand where others flee, and to remember what others forgot. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not too much. You are chosen. Not in spite of your darkness, but because of it. The same God who spoke through thunder and silence is speaking through you. Not just to guide the world, but to wake it up. So carry your shadow like a crown. Speak your truth like a sword. And walk your path like one who has already seen the end, and knows that light and darkness both bow to the one who made them.